crafters, this is Suzanne from A Creative Muse, and today I'm going to be doing the pages, the base pages for the mini album. So we're going to be working on making these base pages, all these little parts here, to get the mini album going for Mother's Day. Alrighty, so let's get started. As you can see, I have a few supplies here. First of all, you're going to need your white cardstock, whether it's the Recollections white cardstock, or if you went out and got the Avalanche cardstock, or whatever paper pack you're using, the matching cardstock. Get a few sheets out. You're not going to need a ton. I didn't count my pages actually. I didn't count like how many sheets of paper I used, but I would say 10. Definitely under 12, somewhere in there. Alrighty, and that's letter size. So if you go 12 by 12, then you're going to have some little pieces left over, but you can use those to make tags and stuff like that. You're also going to need a 1/4 inch score tape and a pair of scissors, scoring tool, whether this is my Martha Stewart scoring tool or the one that comes with your scoreboard. I like this better. Teflon bone folder, or something to just help you burnish with. What else can you? I guess you can burnish with your bone folder too, whether it's the one that comes in the score tool or this one. And also, well, I like to keep this. I've shown you guys this a couple of times. This is my Omni Grid. It's in the sewing quilting section of Hobby Lobby and Joann's. I like to use this for helping to tear my score tape. So I have it out as a little tool. Keeps everything neat. You don't have adhesive hanging over the edges, because if you have adhesive hanging over the edges, when you close the album, things start to stick and you don't want things sticking. So always roll the adhesive back or pull it off or nip it off. A trimmer. This is my Tim Holtz tonic trimmer. And scoreboard. And I think that's it. If I forgot anything else, we'll figure it out along the way. Going with page 1, and if I sound a little bit nasally, yes, I'm still going through me and the second COVID vaccine. I think it's messing with my allergies and some version of something. So I'm not, just ignore how I sound. Alrighty, so the first page, the base page, is 6.5 by 8.5. So I'm going to take a piece of cardstock that's 8.5 inches wide, 11 inches long. I'm going to turn it on the side because I need the base page to be 6.5 right here by 8.5. So that's base page for the album. Next, I need, now all these little extras, whatever piece that comes over, hold it. Some of them you can use later to make tags or to make little photo inserts, or I can also use it for other pages. Next up, I have 5 3/4 by 6.5. Come here to 5 3/4. Yeah, 6.5. I have the measurements written down because I've never taught like this before, so this is interesting for me. But we'll see how this turns out. Alrighty. So that's the second part. This is that front flap when the album was opened. And then I need another sheet of paper. This one is going to be for what attaches to the hinge, and that is 9.5 by 3.5. There we go. And here on the screen, I'm also going to put the number so you can see it. You can write it down. I don't have a blog where, you can go to my blog and find it. I really don't. Alrighty, so let's construct page 1. Now, this is the time also, if you're going to make more than one of this album. Let's say you want to give one to your mom, one to your mother-in-law, one to your sister, one for your best friend. Cut all 4 now. You can go 4 of this, 4 of this, and 4 of this, or cut all 3, then do it again, do it again, do it again. Also, what I like to do, this is just me sharing my little tips over the years. And when I was first making this album, when I was just figuring out the pages, because I knew that I wanted you guys to stay in this size of cardstock, I would cut the pages. I had a vision in my head, and I like to go page 1. Stick it down. Now, obviously, when we go into page 2, they're all like white cardstock. So you can also put this in a Ziploc bag, standard gallon Ziploc bag. You can do all the two, three copies of it, duplicates if you're going to make more than one of this album. Put them all as in page 1 in a Ziploc bag. That's done. Then we're going to start, then we'll get into page 2, so on and so forth. Now, I like to, when I'm freestyling, which is just going page by page, I'll start the scoring. So I would score this all out, put the page 1, and put it away. So now let's get into scoring page 1. I'm going to be using my Scor-Pal, and I did link this in the supply video, and I will copy all the links from the supply video into this video, just in case you decide while making this album that I think I need that's a scoreboard, and maybe the one that you have you don't like. If you have a card making one, it gets kind of, it can work. Mini albums, if you're going to be making mini albums, treat yourself to a 12 by 12. Even if you go to Tuesday morning, or you buy it on sale at Hobby Lobby, or you go with a Scor-Pal, or you find the Martha Stewart one. Alrighty, so this is that 9.5 by 3.5 inch piece of cardstock. We're going to rotate it on the 9.5 inch side, and I'm going to score at a 1/2 inch on both ends. So that would be here at a 1/2 inch. Okay, so I'm zoomed in now. So we're going to score, because I know sometimes if you're not used to this, it gets like, for seasoned crafters, like, oh, Suzanne, please, I can see it. Yeah, but I'm also doing this video for the beginner, and it's nice to see it. So there's 2 ways of doing this. 1/2 inch on both ends. You can do 1/2 inch here, rotate it, and go again, 1/2 inch. If your mind works that way, sometimes that's exactly how I do it. Or I'll go 1/2 inch, go here, subtract a 1/2, and come at 9. Okay? So we have a 1/2 inch over here, 1/2 inch here. Like I said, you can do a 1/2, rotate it, and come a 1/2. Sometimes it's easier just to do it that way, just for your sanity. If you have had a long day, stick with it that way instead of trying to calculate it out here. That's all. Alrighty, so that's part 1. Next one is the 5 3/4 inch piece. See right here, 5 3/4 with the 6.5 inch. On the 5 3/4 inch side, we're going to go again at a 1/2 inch. Most mini albums, once you're adding a flap, you are making a pocket, whatever you're doing, the scoring is usually 1/2 inch, 99% of the time. So just pretty much know, oh, I'm going to be friends over here with the 1/2 inch. Yeah, 1/2 inch. And if you find that, let's say this corner is not the easiest thing for you to get into, you can do it this way. But if you were to do 1/2 inch here, you're looking at 5 1/4. Okay, but if that confuses you, don't do it that way. Stay right here. So I scored a 1/2 inch. Alrighty, that's it. So my base page, my 6.5 by 8.5, that has no scoring. And then I have my 5 3/4 inch by 6.5 on this piece. See how with the white cardstock you can see where the score line is? I purposely did it that way. When I score like this, where you can see the indenting, on the back side you'll see that hump. You want to fold that way. What you scored on, you want to fold over, not the other way. You could, but it's crisper and easier when you fold over, not the other way. Sometimes we'll do it because it depends on how the pages fold. I think on the last page it's going to be that way, but let me not confuse you anymore. Let me stop talking. I just use my Teflon bowl folder to burnish. And then also I'm going to take that 9.5-inch piece with the 2 1/2-inch on both ends. I'm going to fold it. So even in card making, we don't go on this side and fold. We go this way where it has a valley, and you fold where the valley is at. That would give you a nice crisp fold without a ton of cracking or the paper. The more you manipulate the paper is the weaker it gets. So you want to fold into that score line. Alrighty. Now we need to add adhesive. In this case, I'm adding the adhesive here on the ends, not on the inside. And for the 1/4 inch, you don't want to put it right up on the edge. You want to put it close to the edge. So let me show you what I'm talking. So not at the edge, but you know, a hair from the edge, not out here. Because if I put it out here, if I line it up with this edge here, all of this is going to lift. So you want, when it folds back, don't worry about this part when it folds. Don't worry about this part once it folds in. This will be sticking to that base page. You want it close to the edge of this part here, but not at it. Don't want the adhesive hanging out again. It's all about keeping it clean. So here again, just a hair in, closer to where the score line is. And that's your score line. So it's close to the score line, not at the score line. I hope that makes more sense. All right, and you can see what I'm saying too. Same thing here with 5 3/4 by 6 1/2. Here I'm going to put the score tape right here. Sometimes, depending on how the page operates, it will go inside. In this case, most of my pages are going to be here on the outside. Again, lining it up. Now, when I use a 3/8 inch score tape, it takes up most of this half inch space from the fold, this little flap here. And that's kind of like why we use, you know, the 3/8 of an inch. But you don't have to buy it. 1/4 of an inch works just fine, and it is cheaper, bringing the cost down. Alrighty, so now we're gonna just kind of miter this, just trim off the edge here. Is it miter or is it? I can't remember the term. Oh, my sinus. Just trim a little hair right here. You see that? Just start here and just a little hair off. You can flip it over this way if you want to see the score line. I'm going to do it up high here and just clip. And then you just take these little bits, garbage, trim the edge. I don't need to, but for your first time, yeah. Just in case it didn't cut straight, you don't want any extra pieces hanging over, and it's just a good habit to do it that way. So now we're going to take this 6 1/2 by 8 1/2 inch long. So 6 1/2 is your width. Let me show you in the finished book. 6 1/2 is your width, 8 1/2 is long. If you turn it and you're up here for 8 1/2, no, you're putting it on wrong, then you have to go recut it again. It happens, but it's, you know. So here, this is the top of the mini album. This is the side of the mini album. Now, for me to stick this on, I'm going to stick it over here. I'm going to turn the page. Just for my sanity, that's how I work. But you are sticking it more like this. But it's easier for me to do it this way. Now, I'm sitting down and doing this. What I want to do is line up this edge with that edge. This is a time when you can stand up. I'm not going to stand up, though. I'm going to pull it down further to me, though. And you want to middle the paper. So let me see. So I'm looking at about 1 inch from each end. I hope I'm there. Please let me be there. I'm there good enough. Like that. Okay? When you're doing this, of course, your head will be where my head is, not where my hand is. And you'll be, or you can stand up and do it. So that's the front of page 1. That's your flap. There you go. Now we're going to flip over that cardstock. So, again, this opens to the left. This is my base page. This side, the right side, is where I'm going to now put this. Okay? So I'm going to take off my adhesive, like so. And if you have any questions, just ask me. Now, normally I would turn this, but I think because, you know, if this is your first time doing this, I don't want to throw you, but you would, oh gosh, I got to stand up. Hold on. Yeah, I got to stand up for this. I can't see the top. So line it up right here with the edge. Let me zoom it in more. All right, there we go. So what you want to do is line this up with that edge to edge. Again, here, edge to edge. Then now the bottom side. Now I can flip it over because I already did all of that. Because sometimes it's easier to just work with the paper when you turn it. Edge to edge. There's a little overhang here. Don't worry about that. It's a trimmer. Oh. Or it's me up here at the top. Yeah, it's me up there at the top. A little bit off, but it's at the bottom anyway. Alrighty. So, this is why it's always good to have an exact trimmer and a great score board so you can get it from edge to edge clean. Alrighty, so that's page 1 is done. You can stick page 1. Now let's go into page 2. Take out my trimmer again. Take out my, I need another 8.5. So page 2 is a full sheet of paper, 8.5 by 11. No cutting, hold it off to the side. Next piece I need is 9.5 by 3.25. This was from the previous that I had cut the 3.5. Now I'm going to cut it down to 3.25. So on this, take the 9.5 inch. I can measure it right here. I see it's 9.5 inch. Rotate it, and now I'm going to cut it to 3.25. Now this I can throw away, or you can use your scraps to die cut or something. Alrighty. So now I'm going to take my 8.5 inch piece of paper, piece of cardstock, put it in my scoreboard, which goes all the way out to 12. And I'm going to score it at 6.5 inches. So here we are, 6.5 inches. Just, again, score. Then now take my 9.5 inch by 3/4, and I'm going to go 1/2 inch. And again, I can do it here, or I can bring it over here and go 1/2 inch again. So 1/2 inch on both sides. You can rotate it that way, or just do the math of 1/2 inch, 9 inch. Remove my scoreboard. Going to fold again, fold inward. Where's my burnishing tool? And I had linked some Teflon bone folders. Some of them I don't see. The one I saw for this, I'm not 100% sure if it's this. It looked more angled, and so I don't think I had put the link. And then I saw this one, but I don't think it's right. It didn't look, this is not thin. And it was called the thin bone folder. I don't know. All right, so now we're gonna, here, see the dip? Flip it over, and I'm going to fold it in. There we go. And this now is page 2. So I'm gonna take out my pen. This is just good habit. because it's very easy once you start having a bunch of them to forget where you are. You know, like what? Especially when you're doing this, when you're first starting out doing this. Even when I'm making pages, I still put the Post-it just to know, well, this was one, and then I go back and I'm like, do I like that as page 1? And then I'll flip it. So when I change my mind, I'll move the Post-it and be like, I want that one to be 2, this one to be 1, that one to be 4, this one to be 6. Things like that. Okay, and that's it. Again, this is 9.5 by 3 1/4. So far, I hope this doesn't seem hard. It's not hard. It's not hard. It's just new. And just like with anything new, it just takes a little, you know, time, little learning curve. A lot of folks get sometimes get mixed up on the what side to score on. So they get, you know, and that happens. Because when something is new, we have a tendency of overthinking it, like, is it on the 9-inch side or the 3 1/4-inch side? Which side? That's why I did this in white. For sure. So you can see what side. There we go. So now, this is the front of page 2. As a matter of fact, I can stick it on here now. So I know this is the front of page 2. I'm going to flip it over. So, opened out. This is going to go here. Don't put it here, or you're going to have to change your mini album. You understand? So I'm going to tell you now. This is what is secured. This is what attaches, helps you attach to your hinge. And the hinge is what makes all the pages open and close. So now I'm saying keep this short flap to the left, this to the right. And this time I'm going to kind of turn it just a little bit. You can still see page 2 over there, the front of page 2. Take off both ends. Alrighty. Oh gosh, I hope I'm straight. I can't see a thing. I think I'm straight. That looks straight. Is that straight? Oh yeah. There we go, end to end. Yay. I'm feeling my way through this. Alrighty, so this is what attaches onto the mini album. So this is page 2. Let me show you what page 2 looks like. That's this. See? Right there. That's that. So page 2 done. So like I said, this is a simple mini album. It shouldn't take you too long to make. The longest part probably is your first time making the cover. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, I don't. And then, you know, but once you get used to it, then it's okay. It's going to be matting it. Matting it always takes a little time. And then now I'm going to do page 3. So page 3, take out another sheet of paper. If you're counting, tell me how many sheets I use, because I wasn't still not counting it. This one we're going to go base page size, which is 6.5, and I'm looking at the edges. I know I'm just like that weirdo, because some of the edges in here had a little crimp, so I want the clean edge. 6.5 by 8.5. So I'm going to come here to 6.5. This already is 8.5 inch wide, so I don't have to measure that. Next piece, I want 4.5 by 7.5, and I think I have a scrap over here. Yep, that's perfect. So one of the pieces that we had cut before is going to leave a 4.5 inch piece. That one I'm going to rotate, cut it down to 7.5. This is going to make a pocket in the front. There we go. Dump that little excess. Next piece, I'm going to go back again with another sheet. I need again a 9.5 inch piece. Let me look. Where's my little, okay. 9.5 inches. And then I'm going to cut a piece down to 9.5 by 3. There we go. Save this 9.5 inch piece because we're going to still use it again for the next page. Yeah, for page 4. We're going to use part of it for page 4. Alrighty, so this is now page 3. Alright, base piece, 6.5 by 8.5. Put it over to the side. Next part, that 4.5 by 7. We're going to bring out the scoreboard again. So here you can see 4.5 by 7.5. You can always use this as a ruler too. That's just, you know, habit. On the 7.5 inch side, so the longest side, you're going to go 1/2 inch on each side. So I'm going to go 1/2 inch here. So I can go 1/2 inch and 7, or if it's easier for you, just go 1/2 inch, turn it 1/2 inch again. Okay. Now here, let me use this side. On the 4.5 inch side, I'm going to go 1/2 inch here. So this is your pocket. That's your pocket right there. You can see if the long part has the score here and then one here, you're wrong. You want the 2 ends on the longest part and then one here on the shortest part. So that's what you're looking for right there. Okay. Oh, the white is working so well, because I think you guys can see this clearly, because I'm seeing it clearly on my phone. So yeah. Alrighty. And the first time that you're making this, you know, go into your craft room or dining room table and just, you know, quietly focus and do it. Don't try not to get too many distractions, because that's where mistakes happen. Like, I never do, and I've always told all my crafty friends, I said, you'll see me come here with a mini album. I never do construction at a crop. It's just like everything, squirrel, squirrel, squirrel. It's like somebody says something, I'm looking, oh, and then that's where big mistakes happen. And I had a friend, she bought a mini album, and she was gonna make the pages. Oh boy, were the mistakes just happening. I said, that's why I told you I don't do construction at a crop. I said, it's too many distractions in here, you know, too much fun. You know, we're listening to each other's conversations too sometimes. Somebody comes by to say hi to you, haven't seen you in forever, all that stuff. Okay, so you're gonna put the score tape on the 3 sides. Notice how, again, I didn't go at the score line, but I'm very close to it. That's where you wanna be. And I'm gonna show you how to cut this little pocket here when I finish applying tape to this one. Oh, I didn't score this, did I? Oops. Alrighty, 9 inch one. I need to score this 1/2 inch again on both sides. Oh my goodness. Okay, 1/2 inch here. This is my first time ever doing this. I'm usually very quiet doing this. I'm not like talking doing this, so bear with me. And here on the 9.5 inch side, again, here I can do it at 9, or I can rotate it and do it 1/2 over here. Whatever feels natural to you, stick with it that way until you get used to, you know, going, oh, 9.5, take off 1/2 inch, now it's 9. Until you get to that place. If you're not at that place, don't force it. Don't force it. Just take your time with the process, because it's a lot of moving parts. And I don't want you to make your first album and go, oh gosh, I hate this, I'll never do that again. Because they are nice to make. Mini albums are nice. Actually, mini albums is what got me out of scrapbooking. Oh, don't tell anybody. I used to do, when I first got into crafting, I was doing scrapbook layouts. I loved scrapbooking. And then one day, Kathy King, Paper Phenomenon, and I made a mini album. And like I told you guys, it couldn't even open. It was that bad, but I didn't give up. And I went again, and by like my 2nd or 3rd is when it was like, okay. So that's why I said don't use your good papers first time around. Go more your, you know, this Michael's pack. There's 50 sheets. You mess it up, start again, start again, start again. Out of this 50 sheets, I could probably make 5 of this 4 pages sets. I could probably make 5 of this album. Just the internal pages. Hey. Alrighty, so I'm gonna zoom in now for the pocket. So we have that 8.5 by 6.5. We have that 9.5 by 3. Now we're here with that full pocket, that 4.5 by 7.5. I'm going to come on down. So I'm now going to show you how to do a full pocket. First, we're going to fold it in. Again, you can also flip it over if you want. Fold it in. Again, flip it over, or I can use this one too. This was my longtime favorite for years. And there, and those are my edges. So here you can start seeing a pocket. That's the pocket where everything stuffs into. You see? Alrighty. Now we're going to cut the edges, trim the edges. I can't remember the proper, I'm saying miter. Is it miter? I don't think that's the right term. I can't remember. Blame it on the vaccine. It's the vaccine's fault. It'll come to me and I'll be like, why did I not remember? Okay, so now here, habit. Here at this juncture, where you see this whole T shape here like a cross, you want to cut diagonal on it. Now, which would mean straight down here. You see? There. Now, if you fold and you have a hanging bit like that, you can trim that little, oh gosh, why is it not focusing? Come on. If you have that little hanging bit like that, you can trim that little edge off if that bothers you. If that doesn't bother you, don't make a big deal, but it bothers me, so I always fix it. I always just go back in and trim a little excess off, and I get a cleaner corner. Sometimes I like to flip it over this way and go on the back because I can see it better. Especially with black cardstock. Black cardstock is where it becomes harder to see all your score lines. So over here, you can see it there, but here I get a more definitive crossing. And I want to cut on that diagonal. So let me zoom this in now here. There we go. And I'm cutting mid-air. And Tim Holtz scissors, shares, as they're called, are very good for that. And then check my edge. See my edge? Nice and smooth. So I cut a cleaner edge from the back than I do from the front. I already had trimmed that off a little bit. See, that's it. Little things like that bother me. I don't know why. But I'm also known for having clean albums. What do I mean by a clean album? It's straight. Pocket is there. This is here. It's not, you know, yeah. So it's those little things. All right, so now I have this pocket, which is going to be on the front of page 3. So that's going to go either side here. It doesn't matter which way I put it because it's all the same. For my sanity, what you don't want to do is put it this way because that's where the adhesive is. Let me back it out now. Hopefully I didn't confuse you too much. The opening of the pocket is going to be here, that way. So the 3 edges, 1, 2, 3, will be along here with the adhesive. Now you can glue it like this, but this is just doesn't feel natural to me. So I'm going to go upside down. Don't worry, I'm not affecting how the orientation of the page is. If I was, I would then do it this way, but it's just gonna, I just know I'm not going to put it on straight if I do it that way. Alrighty. Now, if for some reason your pocket is not lining up 100%, go towards, if you're sticking it upside down like me, go towards that left edge. If you are going to stick it on properly, go towards here, this right edge. Gosh, I hope I'm not driving you guys crazy. When you're looking at the album, this is the outside of the page that flips. This is what people will notice if it's off. If it's in here, nobody will notice because this is attached to the album. So your left side here doesn't have to be 100% flush, but you need to be flush here, where the album, let me show you what I'm talking about. Flush here, where I can see it. If it's off over here, you won't really see it because this is all white, this is all attached here. Nobody's gonna notice if it's a hair off. Here, we'll see it. And your pocket will be in and your base page will be here. That's what I mean. So because I'm sticking it upside down, I know that's the corner I have to aim for. If you are going to stand up and do it on this. If you're going to stick it straight down like so, go towards that right edge. I'm going to do it the other way because it's just my habit of doing it that way, because I'm going to do it upside down. It's easier for me to line it up. So I'm going to take both sticky edges and I'm going to go for that left edge, that edge that's seen. Can I see the top? Good. I'm on straight. And then I'm going to come here, through there. Then I'm going to come over here. Okay. That's why I can't stand this trimmer. See what I'm talking? On this one, it's a hair, which proves the point, but this is... So now my right edge, or is it a hair over here? This part where everybody can see is clean. Here, nobody's gonna notice it. Now, with my pocket here, page 3. So you can stick here. This is the front of page 3. Flip with the pocket going this way, flip it over. This is where you're going to put this piece, this 9.5 by 3. I'm going to take my scissors. I'm going to clip and clip. Remember that I told you that Tim Holtz trimmer is very good. It doesn't fray, but at around the 6 and so inches, it gets a little hairy. It's showing the hairiness now, which drives me absolutely crazy. But I did last night when I was linking the Fiskars trimmer. I was saying you could use the Fiskars. I saw that Tonic has a new guillotine trimmer. So Tonic makes this. They came with a full 12 by 12. And I had put the link in last night. And I saw it at scrapbook.com for $56, I think it was. If I needed another one of this, but I already have my Caterpillar, so I'm not gonna do it. But I was looking at it though for a second, like, because guillotine trimmers are very clean edges. They don't fray. Then here would not be a problem for me. It would be exact. And then you won't have this little funny edge happening. Flip it over again. So pocket, turn over. That was my sidebar. I couldn't help having a sidebar. Cause you know that just really irked me a while ago with that edge, right? I'm doing this video with you guys. I'm like, no, it's supposed to be clean. And it's like, ear. But if you do have that little issue where it's a little hair off, push it towards the hinge, towards the spine. Alrighty, so now I'm gonna go up here to the top. This is another time. Okay, I'm coming over here to the side. Is my hair in the thing? I'm doing this from a side angle so bad. So bad. And then over here at the bottom. Oh gosh, guys. Here at the bottom, there we go. Oh. So burnish. I have both my bone folders out. And that is page 3. So page 3, what you're looking for on page 3. Pocket here. All the goodies stick in. Flip it over. This pocket here. Pocket should not be here. If pocket is here, then you made a mistake. Cut it again. It's okay. You aren't using that much score tape, and this wasn't that long to make. Alrighty. So that's page 1, page 2, page 3. Now let's go into page 4. Take a sheet of paper, 8.5 by 11. Take another sheet of paper. So 8.5 inch wide, rotate it. I'm going to cut it down to 6 by 8.5. 6 inches about here. This is not accurate either, but alrighty. Card making, it doesn't really become that much of a problem because card making, we're always here. And then at 5 by 7, we're out here. So it's not that big of a deal there at that point. Next piece I need 4 1/4. So I can take the other half of what I just cut, come down to 4 1/4 by 6 3/4. 6 3/4 inch. 6 3/4, throw away this excess. These are little scraps. Last piece I need, take out back that other 9 1/2 inch scrap that you have. Cut on the 9 1/2 inch side, you're gonna rotate it and you're gonna cut 3/4 of an inch right here, like so. And let me dump these little scraps. Alrighty, then I'm going to move my trimmer. Okay, so now we're going to do a bunch of scoring. Take out your scoreboard again. Make sure that I'm in focus. On the 11-inch side, we're going to score at a 1/2 inch, like so, and 7 inches, like so. Taper, that's the word. Oh my gosh, taper. When I was saying miter the edges, it was taper the edges. Ah, it came to me. I knew the word. You guys must think I'm completely crazy. Alrighty, let me just look at what I did. So we're gonna do a little fold here. We're gonna fold this part here. See the score line? Over. That's the back. This is going to be your back of your page. And this here, we're gonna fold in as well, but I'm gonna do it the other way. So I'm gonna actually, don't normally do this, but it's okay for this part here. Go this way. There we go. So you're making like a little Z. You see? This one up, this one down. Again, so we did this 1/2 inch score, and I folded over, I burnished it. Now I'm gonna flip it back and I'm gonna burnish it the other way. And then this part, fold in towards the back. That's that base page done. So that's an active base page in terms of it having, you know, some moving parts. Bring back my scoreboard. 3 1/4 by 9 1/2. On the 9 1/2 inch side, I'm gonna do 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. So 1/2 inch here, 1/2 inch here. That's how I used to do it when I first started, just to keep my sanity. On the 4 1/4 by 6 3/4, we're gonna do 1/2 inch again. 1, that's it. That's all my scoring, done. Alrighty, so now we're gonna bring in the pages. This is page 4. I'm going to pull it out for you so you can see it. So here is the 8 1/2 by 11, where I had fold this over. This piece I'm going to put facing in. The tape is going to go here, not in here, but out here. And I want it towards, again, same thing, closer to the score line, but not on the score line, but very close to that score line. All right, I'm going to bring it back down. Let me see if the camera is focusing. See? Again, with this 9 1/2 by 3 3/4. Here we go. Fold these 2 flaps out. So I finally figured what the word was when I said to you, cut the edges. It's taper. I knew when I said miter. I'm like, no, it's not miter. Miter is something else when we were making the covers. It's taper. I just couldn't remember the word. Alrighty, here we go again. Fold this over. I should write it down, taper and miter. And again here, by close to that score line, apply the tape. So all the tape is when the flap is open. Only this one is it on this side, right here. All right, so now we're going to construct this. And now we're also going to taper this. Because if I don't taper this, and I attach this 6 by 8.5 inch piece, and I don't attach it right, you'll see it. So what we're doing is just making it easier and again, cleaner by tapering it. And I'm gonna come in to taper. Let's do that tapering again. Take it here, come here, there, taper. That was a good taper. Miter. Oh. Mini album, folks, don't laugh at me. All right, I'm gonna come on this side, and again, I'm going to taper. But I've never taught like a mini album. It's my first time doing it. Because I've always been like a little apprehensive about it. Like, yeah, I don't know if I can teach this, but I just gotta take off my training wheels in my head and just go for it, right? All right, so now this is it open. We're going to attach this 6 inch wide, 8.5 inch long piece here, where the adhesive is. Now, yeah, maybe I can attach it this way. If you want, you can go this way, stand up. I think I'm gonna try to attach it this way. If I'm off, oh well. Because I would normally do it kind of upside down, but I don't want to throw you off too much. What you're looking for, as long as you have this short piece over here with the score, you're on the right side. If it's rotated a different way, you're off. All right, let me come in. And what you're looking for, let me see if I can, I'm going to do it mid-air like a crazy person. Let me see if I can go edge to edge, mid-air. Okay, I'm a little bit off there, but you seeing what I'm talking? Right there. See, I'm edge to edge. Now I can, see, I naturally want to go upside down. Let me not go upside down and throw you guys. But that's just how I try to do it, the way that feels natural to my hand. Okay, the page is a little bit wonky. So now my page is a little bit wonky there because I didn't stick as straight as I'm thinking I stuck. That's where your burnishing tool comes in. This burnishing tool, it'll just smooth everything out. Smooth everything out. There we go. There we go. Page is fine. And what you're looking for is once I open it, you should see the flap in here with the tapered edge. That's what you should be seeing on the inside. So it should be the 6 inch piece, this little flap, 6.5 inch, and then this piece, which is 4 inches. Then you are absolutely correct. Fold this all up. This is now page 4. Open to the left, that 6 inch piece. And let me just burnish this a little bit more. Now we're going to get into this piece, which is your 4 1/4 by 6 3/4 piece. I'm going to fold. I don't have to taper, but let's just taper. Tapering is a good habit anyway, because it just makes it cleaner. So just taper it. Oh. Just taper it. Peel off the adhesive, and we're going to stick it here. So this flap opens out to the left. This is now going to go to the right here, centered on your page, on this 8.5 inch side, opposite the 6 inch page flap over there. And you want to center it. This is another piece that you can do standing up. I'm going to be eyeballing it because I'm sitting, and I'm just going to eyeball it. So if I'm off, I'm off. Don't knock me for it. Is that straight? That's pretty straight though. That's pretty much even. You want to be even between these two parts. And yes, you could use a pencil, but when you're, this is white, just eyeball it. The recipient won't notice it. Just stand up over it. Standing up over it will give you an easier way of using it. And this is where I was saying you could do it like this with this small flap on top, or keep the flap on the inside and do this flap here in your finished album. So the way that you mat the page will decide how you want it to work. You know, if it's looking too busy behind here, maybe you don't want this here, maybe you want it the other way. Now we're going to take this page assembly. We're going to flip it over to the left, just like how a book opens. So don't go this way, don't go that way. This flap, small flap, to the left. So now we're over. And now you'll have this 4-inch piece, which I don't know where that got something from. Flip that 4-inch piece to the left. If that 4-inch piece is going that way, you're on the right track. Now we're going to add this little 3¼ piece here. Taper the edges. Again, come in, snip, flip it over. I like to flip it over. It's just my habit. Flip, flip, take out your tapered edges. So you want to snip right at that score line and come down, but not beyond it. If you go beyond it, then just shorten this piece until it looks square. Until it looks like a clean rectangle that you didn't overcut it. And then I'm going to go up here. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm going to stand up in here. Okay. And then this one here pulls over and comes down here. And you're going from edge to edge. There we go. Okay. Okay. So this is the back of, so this is the most interactive page. I don't know what this is. This touched something. I don't know what it touched, but ignore that. This is the front of page 4. If you put this down and you know yourself, do like what I do. Post-it, page 4. Stick your post-it here. So if you're done for the night, you know tomorrow when you start this album up again, or you pick it up back after dinner, here is page 1. That's how the album will work. Here's page 2. Page assembly 3, I should say. Page assembly 4. That's the whole album. Alrighty, crafters, so now we have our 4 pages done. Yay! Now this is for my newbie crafters. Am I at? Yeah. This is for my newbie crafters. For my newbies. Some mini album makers like to mat like this. Don't do it. Attach the pages first to the hinge on the album in the steps I'm going to show you. Then do the matting, because once you mat this page becomes a very thin, easily placed page to a thick, I can't see where the hinge is. Oh my gosh, I put it lean. Oh my gosh, it's not straight. I can't take it off. All kinds of drama. So let's not get into the drama. So don't mat your pages. Now, if you're used to matting your pages, knock yourself out. Go ahead and mat all you want in terms of if you've made mini albums before. You can mat it. Just know the more weight you put on this, the more you won't be able to see where things line up. This is the easier way to see where everything will line up once you insert this on the hinge. And this is from the next video, actually. Right there. So this becomes much easier because I can see it. Once I mat it and put weight to this, it becomes a bigger sheet. It becomes a bigger assembly to control. Alrighty, I just wanted to say that part out just in case you guys are getting like excited and ready to start matting. Let's do construction first before we get into matting. Alrighty, crafters, I think that's it. Okay, so page is done. Next video will be the hinge. So until that next video, stay crafty, my friends. Have fun making your pages. Don't forget to label them. See, I had 2 on the top. I know that's 2, so I know it goes here. So until the next video, stay crafty, my friends. Bye.